Ladies and gentlemen, Sat Sri Akal Ji, Namaste, good evening. Thank you for joining us for this year's Vaisakhi celebrations. My name is Shafana Mita, and I am your moderator for this evening's celebrations, and would personally like to wish you, your families, and communities a very happy Vaisakhi. Before we begin, for anyone that requires closed captioning, for tonight's event, you can turn on your captioning feature if you're joining via Zoom by clicking on the button below that says CC. Hosted by the Honorable Premier Jason Kenney, we are pleased to have with us today Her Honor Lois Mitchell, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, Minister Leela Sharon Ahir, Minister for Culture, Multiculturalism and Status of Women, many of our members of our Legislative Assembly, guest speakers, Raksh Joshi, President of the Hindu Society for Calgary, and Gagan Kaur Hunjan, member of the Vaisakhi Nagar Kirtan Committee, and Sikh Singat of Edmonton. We also have with us some amazing young talent today from the community, including Joban Pangila and Yuvraj Basi from the Punjabi Heritage Folk, and Anjana Babar from the Jivan Gopal Dance Academy. Without further ado, it is my privilege to introduce Minister Leela Sharon Ahir, Minister for Culture, Multiculturalism, Status of Women, to kick us off for tonight's program.
Sat Sri Akal Ji, Namaste Ji, Sabnu Vaisakhi Diyan Lak Lak Vidaiyan. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And although this isn't the celebration that we would have originally intended, it is a real honor to be able to spend this evening with you. In these difficult times, our communities are more important to us than ever. Our first speaker tonight is my very, very dear friend, the Honorable Lois Mitchell, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
Hello, everyone. It is my sincere pleasure to celebrate Vaisakhi with all of you. I wish we could be meeting in person, but since that's not possible right now, I would like to thank Minister Leela Ahir and her team for bringing us together for this virtual celebration. Also, a special thank you to the Premier, to the speakers, and also the performers that we're going to be seeing very soon. A special shout out to the cabinet ministers and the MLAs for joining us as well. This event recognizes three very important things. First, Vaisakhi is a wonderful way for all Albertans to learn about the rich cultural traditions of our Hindu and Sikh communities, and to embrace the spirit of diversity that's a key part of who we are as Albertans and Canadians. Secondly, whenever we celebrate different cultural traditions in our communities, I think we also come to appreciate the many things that we have in common as Albertans. The more we learn about one another, the more we can see that we're all united by the same commitment to working hard, to stand tall together through life challenges, and to care for our fellow Albertans. We've had plenty of opportunities to practice those essential Alberta traits over the past month, and we will continue to rely on them to get us through this difficult time. Thirdly, this celebration allows me to recognize the important contributions that the members of our Hindu and Sikh communities are making to Alberta's COVID-19 response. Some are working on the front lines, while others are reaching out to provide comfort and hope to those who need it most. As Her Majesty, the Queen's representative in Alberta, I offer my heart heart-filled thanks to all of you. It is also my pleasure to wish each of you a very enjoyable Vaisakhi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. It's so wonderful to see you. We miss you very much. We're really happy to have you with us. Our next speaker tonight, the Honorable Jason Kenney, Premier of Alberta.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Sat Sri Akal, Vaisakhi Diyan, Lak Lak Vadaya. Happy Vaisakhi to everyone who's celebrating. I'm joining you here from the federal building in the legislature in Edmonton. Thank you so much, Minister Ahir, to you and your team for organizing this. This is got to be cutting new territory here. The first virtual Vaisakhi celebration that we've ever had. And let's hope it's the last, that next year we can go back to being in the company of one another. But I want to also thank Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, for joining us and her commitment to the South Asian community and always being there to celebrate these important moments in our diverse society here in Alberta. I know, folks, that many of you are watching from home and you're feeling cooped up and frustrated with the social distancing and the public health orders. It means that this year you can't go to Gurdwara to actually celebrate Khalsa Day and Vaisakhi. It probably also means that we won't be able to do all of the usual celebrations this year, including the Nagar Kirtans, and that's unfortunate. But there are other ways that Vaisakhi is being celebrated. I want to thank the community for demonstrating what's really at the heart of Vaisakhi. Of course, an ancient harvest festival, but also especially for Sikhs, the Khalsa Day, which commemorates the day on the 30th of March, 1699, when Guru Gobind Singh Ji created the Khalsa Panth, and a central part of Sikh identity. Another key part of Sikh identity and the identity of so many others of Canadians of South Asian origin is the idea of seva, or service to others without an expectation of compensation or reimbursement. And that is a spirit we see alive and well through the Sikh community, and the Hindu community as well, and other South Asian communities, showing such tremendous generosity, reaching out and helping the people who are isolated, bringing food to our seniors, helping the truckers, ensuring that they have the amenities, the food and the support that they need to continue operating critical supply chains to bring our groceries, our medications, and our medical equipment that we need to keep operating as a society as we combat the pandemic. So this is a different, but in some ways a special Vaisakhi. I've seen the Gurdwaras coming together to offer special kinds of seva and to continue that tradition of service. So let me say thank you to all of those Albertans who are celebrating Vaisakhi for the ways in which you have contributed to the dynamism of our society, the ways that you're helping us to get through this challenging time. And I hope that this will be even though it's a different time, a way of celebrating, I hope that all of you will be enriched by the celebration of Vaisakhi and of Khalsa Day this week. And I hope that we'll be, if we maintain our discipline, our observation of the public health orders and measures that we have put in place, I am confident that we'll get through this stronger than ever. Let me just say that Alberta's resilience is on display right now in remarkable ways. We have, one of the reasons we have very low levels of hospitalization due to COVID-19 is because we started very strong testing early on, that allowed us to trace and limit the spread. It also is why we were ordering supplies back in December. We have the best situation in the country in terms of supplies and testing. All of that is proof of the resilience and the innovative spirit of this province. So once again, thank you to all of you who are joining us tonight. Please pass on from me to your family, to your community, a word of special gratitude and my best wishes for a joyful celebration of Vaisakhi. Vaisakhi Diyan Lak Lak Vadaya, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you so much, Premier. We're so honored to have you with us, and we miss being all together. It's been very, very interesting, and as you said, I'd like to give a small shout out to the incredible staff that are actually making this entire function happen. So thank you to everybody. Vaisakhi is such an important community event for so many reasons, but I think what is really important, we have some amazing leaders in this community, and so we've asked that some of them come and join us this evening to reflect and to speak a little bit about what's been going on. So I'd like to please introduce Mr. Raj Joshi, the president of the Hindu Society of Calgary, and he is an avid participant in local and regional and international current affairs. Mr. Joshi ji has been recognized by the Government of Canada for his significant contributions in promoting Canadian business overseas. Please help me to welcome Mr. Raj Joshi ji to share a few words.
Am I clear in speaking?
You're clear.
You're good, sir. Go right ahead.
Happy Vaisakhi to all. We are all celebrating this Happy Vaisakhi, first time online celebration. And as the Premier Jason Kenney said, this is not, we should not be expecting this, but we will be meeting in person next year. And because of this pandemic, we are all celebrating this on online celebration. And Festival of Vaisakhi. Am I clear?
You're clear. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Festival of Vaisakhi is for harvest festival. And as the Premier said, 1699, Khalsa Panth was created. We all, Hindus and Sikh, all celebrate it all together. And we are actually, keeping our society and all community members together in this, time, so that they can pray together. All seniors are taken care of, and our priests are actually giving preaches to our members so that they can listen and they are not distressed, and they can be better connected with us. We have daily digital darshan for the community so that they can listen and pray to the God every day. We actually promote it through digitally to all people through Facebook or by the website. And we are also supporting all our seniors who are vulnerable and they are home alone and they are single as well. We are giving them all the food, whatever they need in this time. And we want to help them celebrate this Vaisakhi as well, so that they are with us. We are not letting them, feel that they are alone. We are all with them. We have a team of volunteers who are working for it. And our priest is always online 24 hours for those people who wants to talk to the priest while calling to Hindu Society of Calgary. And I wish and I pray everybody a happy Vaisakhi. It's a celebration time, and I really congratulate Leela here for doing this all for this community. It is a very honorable thing. We are touched, and we really believe that whatever you are doing is a wonderful thing. You are connecting to the community. That is very, very important at this especially time when this pandemic is going on. Government of Alberta, municipal governments, federal government are doing their best to keep everybody safe, and we are following all the rules and regulations of all public health orders as well.
Thank you so much, G. It's such a privilege to have you with us this evening, and it means so much to the community to hear voices like yours that reassures us to know that our community is together in this. So thank you so, so much. I'd like to now share with you a performance of the Anjana Babar Jivan Gopal Dance Academy. Please enjoy. Thank you. Wow, that's amazing. Anjana, I miss seeing you in person, but that was a beautiful, beautiful performance. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to welcome our next guest, Gagan Kaur Hujanji. She's a member of the Vaisakhi Nagar Kirtan committee of Edmonton and the Sikh Sangat. Gaganji is a lifelong Edmontonian who's motivated to help support her local community and aid in providing services and programs, making a very meaningful impact on those who need support. She has been an executive member of the University of Alberta Sikhs Student Society, an advocate for access to diverse language courses, and a youth volunteer for community events.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Hello, my name is Gagan Kaur. First, on behalf of the Alberta Sikh Sangat or Alberta Sikh community, I'd like to thank the organizers and participants of today's event and their efforts to recognize the significance of Vaisakhi, which for followers of the Sikh faith represents the creation of the Khalsa Panth. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank everyone involved in recognizing the month of April as Sikh Heritage Month here in Alberta and across Canada. As we know, given the current global health pandemic, many communities have had to resort to alternative and creative ways to celebrate significant holidays. On behalf of the Sikh community, I'd like to thank everyone for adjusting and taking part in this new way of living. This demonstrates our love and attention to supporting the well-being of all, also known as Sarbat Dapala in the Sikh faith. As the Premier mentioned earlier, followers of the Sikh faith are standing alongside Albertans in this crisis. from working on the front lines as members of the healthcare community, as doctors, nurses, and support staff, members of law enforcement, the trucking industry, food service industry, workers in grocery stores, teachers, and public servants, the Sikh community continues to stand alongside Albertans in ensuring everyone is taken care of. We have always had a significant and integrated presence within Alberta and will continue to be here as a support during this crisis. I'd like to take a moment to remember the events of Vaisakhi and its significance for followers of the Sikh faith. It was in 1699 on Vaisakhi Day that the first initiation ceremony of the Khalsa took place. Rather than focusing on the specifics of the historical events, I'd like to focus on the underlying values that made the initiation of the Khalsa ceremony so significant. It was on Vaisakhi Day, 1699, that Guru Gobind Singh Ji presented a large congregation with the challenge of facing a universal truth: mortality. Regardless of your faith or background, mortality is something we will all face, but it is rare that it is presented to us as Guru Gobind Singh Ji presented it to the congregation on that day. Along with presenting this fear, Guru Gobind Singh Ji also presented a choice. The choice was not as simple as, do I undergo an initiation ceremony or not? The choice was that of, do I hold on to trust and faith while recognizing and facing my fears? Or do I continue to let fear manifest within me? 5 individuals, who are referred to as the Panch Pyare, or 5 beloved ones, took Guru Gobind Singh Ji up on his offer and made the choice to act with faith and trust and face their fears. This fear and choice is something we are faced with today. COVID has highlighted just how vulnerable life is and how life as we know it can change in a single breath. We are at the mercy of a virus we cannot control or influence. We cannot ask it to go away. We just have to learn and accept. The 6 scriptures speak extensively on fear, what it does to us and how to overcome it. And the initiation ceremony of the Khalsa on Vaisakhi Day is symbolic of this continuous process of us facing our fears. The hope is that by facing our fears individually, we can transform our pain rather than transmit it. The Sikh faith has several underlying values to support this transformation of fear and pain into something better. However, as the Premier said, one of the primary values is seva, which is commonly defined as the selfless service of humankind. This concept of seva is embedded in many of us, and COVID has given us the opportunity to come together and serve once again. Thank you to all the individuals, especially the frontline healthcare workers, who make the conscious choice to face their fears, lean into faith and trust, and serve others during this health pandemic. I'd also like to shift the focus of seva inward, on serving yourself. Physical and social distancing is taking a toll on each of us. Being isolated, restricted to our homes, and limited in where we can go and what we can do is impacting all of us deeply. However, this is an opportunity as well. Sikhi encourages the practice of self-reflection, self-compassion, and self-love, the practice of connecting with yourself and facing your inner truth. It's not something that's spoken about widely, potentially because it's one of the most difficult tasks to embark on, but it is the foundation that Guru Nanak started to lay in 1469, and Guru Gobind Singh Ji then formalized on Vaisakhi Day in 1699. So while we celebrate Vaisakhi differently this year, take this time to be with yourself, pause and reflect. Connect with the truth that is embedded within you. Take this time to allow yourself and others the space to process the vast array of emotions this virus has brought forward. There are lessons to be learned in pain and grief, even if the lessons come slowly. So serve yourself, understand your needs and fears, and nourish forgiveness and patience. While we strive for perfection in ourselves and look for perfection in others, remember that we are all human and figuring out our way through this crisis together. By cultivating healthy practices within ourselves, we will be that much stronger to serve and support Sarbat Dapala, the well-being of all. On behalf of the Sikh community, thank you to the vast number of leaders, decision makers, and frontline and essential workers that are focused on serving each and every one of us during this unique time. The Gurdwaras, Sikh places of worship, while restricted to public access, are continuing daily prayer services, requesting strength and the well-being of all. Support services are still offered through local gurdwaras, including services such as langar, free meals, grocery drop-off services, and access to other supports offered through the Sikh community. Please do not hesitate to reach out to a gurdwara or member of your local Sikh community for help. We are here to serve. And to close, I just wanted to share a quote from a podcast I heard this morning. It is a beautiful blessing to be able to walk through a horrible thing with someone, to be able to look over as you walk through grief and joy together, and to know that even though you are both feeling different things and seeing a bit of a different version of the thing you are walking through, knowing that the person next to you has made a horrible thing beautiful in ways that are hard to explain. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you so much, Gaganji. We're so honored to have you, and thank you for your inspiring words and deep love and compassion. It's obvious in the way that you speak. During uncertain times, leaders in our communities provide us hope. So thank you both to you, Raksh Joshi Ji, and to you for very much for sharing with us. It's very meaningful, and we're very grateful to have you both with us. At this point in time, I would like to thank the Lieutenant Governor and Premier Kenny. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that you have to sign off because you have other places to go, so thank you so much for joining us. We have one final performance for the night from Yuvraj Basi from Punjabi Heritage and Folk. Oh, that was wonderful. And I just wanted to let our listeners and viewers know that both of the young men that performed in the two videos that you saw did those in their home, social distancing, to be able to bring you live performances. And the other performance was done previously last year in a recorded version. So it's been wonderful working with everybody, trying to figure out how to put this together and still be able to celebrate together. Doesn't that just bring so much joy to you to see these young people doing these performances at home? I just thank you so much. I know I was feeling when I'm sitting here, I just want to get up and dance around. I know if my sons were here, they'd be dancing around for sure. So thank you so much for that. As you know, we had originally planned a large Vaisakhi event in person at the government centers in Edmonton and Calgary. And I always say this because it's so important for our communities to understand that McDougall and the legislature and the federal building, these buildings belong to Albertans. They're your house. And it's been such a huge privilege for us who are able to hold these events to have you and host you at your house. However, even with social distancing it's so important that we celebrate these milestones. And even though this is virtual Vaisakhi, I think that's going to be our name for it this year, it still brings us together in many wonderful and joyous ways. And especially when you hear Mr. Joshi ji and everyone speak and speak, what's really important is that you hear from their hearts, from both the Hindu and the Sikh community, about how you give back and the importance that would play under normal circumstances. But as you had said, Gaganji, it's more than that. It's about really, really being able to provide that love across the borders, even when you're not able to actually reach out and be with people. And as we know that during Vaisakhi, during the Sikh festival, there's 40,000 people come into the streets to celebrate with us. But the celebration of community also helps build Alberta. And so from the 10th Sikh Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, who created the Khalsa Panth, to the Sikh and Hindu pioneers who first made their homes here in Alberta and helped build this province from the ground up, and their descendants and newcomers that will come to create increased vibrancy in our community today. We may not be able to have a procession or to sing hymns or share a meal, but we can come together in faith and spirit. I'm so honored to be able to take pride in our culture and share it with others. And to the leaders here today, I want to thank you for keeping yourself around and safe and for following public health guidelines. I can't imagine how difficult it was to cancel mass gatherings, but thank you for following the advice of the Chief Medical Officer, our wonderful and amazing Dr. Dina Hinshaw. I know that these practices have put a strain on your ability to practice your faith in your communities. But we all know how important that is, but we also know how important it is that we gather. The Sikh community has already shown resilient spirit. The Hindu community has shown a very resilient spirit and has adapted to these very stressful times. Again, I'm so inspired by your stories. I'm sure everyone on is very inspired. Please make sure you share meals with your families, and we'll think about each other at this time when we would normally be sharing a meal together. As you know, the Dashmesh Cultural Society, a center in Calgary, is delivering free meals to healthcare workers, truck drivers. And by doing this, they're supporting our everyday heroes, the ones that don't wear capes, but instead go with masks on their faces and into the spaces to make sure to keep our communities safe and healthy. So thank you for that. And please continue to stay home if you're sick. Wash your hands often, stay 6 feet away from each other when you're in public, and we will get through this, and next year we will be celebrating hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, dancing and singing, and sharing food in community. We will get through this, and until then, we will continue to meet like this and make sure that we're sharing community. And I look so forward. I have to tell you, I'm a hugger, so this has been very traumatic for me personally, not being able to reach out and hug people and talk to them and be in this space and to enjoy your company. I hope that you and your family stay safe and healthy in the happy days ahead. Thank you again. I have to say, Maurice and Jordan, who are in the background of this, who are running sound and everything, you guys are amazing. And Shafana and Mona and Kate and everybody else who's in the background, Tanya, Fatmi, and our team and everyone else who helped to put this together. This was really a labor of love and a very new function for us, but we're very happy that we were able to do this. So, and finally, before we go out, thank you to Jobin Paglia. He's the wonderful young man who is playing the dole for us in between. Apne te apne parivar de khayal rakho, kar rakho, theek raho. Thank you so much and happy Vaisakhi.